because there's only one Jerusalem. And the importance of the success of the city of Jerusalem is way over and beyond any other city in the world.
I don't have to explain to anybody that Jerusalem is the center of Jewish life, but it's extremely important for Christians and also for Muslims.
The population of Jerusalem is declining. Many people choose to move out of the city, and especially young people. We have about 40,000 students in Jerusalem, which is a huge human capital. Unfortunately, many of them cannot afford the housing prices in Jerusalem and have to move out.
Not only the women of Hadassah are concerned about the future of the city of Jerusalem, I think the whole Jewish world, as well as Israelis and us Jerusalemites. The fact is that Jerusalem is year by year suffering from negative migration, that if the trend continues, by 2035 we're going to be losing the Jewish majority of our capital.
The number of people who are moving out of the city outnumber the people who enters the city, and today this process goes on, and we have a negative migration balance of about 7,000 people here in Jerusalem.
That's a serious, serious threat. And I don't think that us Jews throughout the world have prayed for Jerusalem for 3,000 years, 2,000 years in the Gola, in the diaspora, to have Jerusalem after it was united 40 years ago, 60 years ago, after Israel came to its foundation. That's not what we prayed for.
There are many people outside Israel who choose to have a second house here in Jerusalem. Many of them are good Jews, Zionist Jews, who would like to see the future here in the city, who would like to live part of their life here in the city. And I think that this is a very positive trend. Unfortunately, it has some negative impacts on the city because it has led to a dramatic increase of the housing prices here in Jerusalem. And many local Jerusalemites, especially the young generations, the students that I've just mentioned, cannot afford buying their housing in Jerusalem because of the dramatic increase in housing prices here in the city.
I say that we should definitely continue to sell to investors, that they should all come, they should be part of our lives, they should bring their money. A lot of these investors have kids who made Aliyah and don't want to live with them when they come. These are people, these are great people, but the problem exists that wherever Americans push on the market, wherever British people and French people push on the market, it goes up.
When people are moving out, or when people, purchase houses in the neighborhood and do not live there, or live them, part-time, just, 10 days or a month during the year, many people in the neighborhoods just feel that the neighborhood is dying because it turns into a ghost neighborhood.
Jerusalem's economy in the last decade or 15 years is not competing well enough with other places in Israel or in the world. Jerusalem has become the poorest city in Israel because the medium and high social economic groups don't have enough anchors and interest to stay here. The students that go through the different colleges in the Hebrew U, including Hadassah College, over 70% of them want to stay in the city, but they don't find jobs. So it's about job creation, it's about building Jerusalem's economy to be an anchor and something to pull people and to keep people in Jerusalem.
One solution is that the government of Israel, with the support of the Jerusalem municipality, would start tackling the issue of young students seriously, young people seriously, and start building affordable housing for young people.
What the government has to do is they have a program in place. They do it all the time. There's a program in place called Apartments for zakaim. What does that mean? Everybody has a right, first-time buyers, to get help from the government. Usually it's in a bit of the mortgage. But I think that the government should save and put out specific land for young Israelis, first-time buyers, at a much cheaper price. And it could only be the people who buy are people that are first-time Israeli citizens buyers.
One vision of improving Jerusalem's economy is focusing on the tourism part, but the other is very interesting, and I think Hadassah has a role, is the health and life science business cluster in the city of Jerusalem. Because of Hadassah and because of other hospitals and because of the Hebrew University, and we have about 60 startups in the space of health and life sciences, Jerusalem has a competitive advantages in this space.